Yeah. So, how can African entrepreneurs use Bitcoin as a tool for financial inclusion in unbanked communities?
First I would encourage everyone to become a net producer. So whether you're an individual or an organization, a business, a country, you need to produce more than you consume.
Mhm.
Staying out of unproductive debt is a good start. Spend much less than you earn. Stay disciplined when it comes to your finances. So start there, and create a kind of a culture of saving and thinking in the long term. So become low time preference. So value tomorrow more than today, as it comes to when it comes to saving for your finances. And then, I would say, dollar cost average. That's the best way for Africans to use Bitcoin as a tool. So whether it's, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every paycheck, however it works out, dedicate a small amount of, depending on your comfort level, a
Mhm.
certain amount or a specified amount of Bitcoin, and deposit that into a self custodial or a non-custody wallet. So, I think these are just basic steps that you can take, and over the long term, over just a few months, you'll start to see your account grow, and so retaining value for the future really is that easy, but it does take discipline and kind of personal responsibility to get there.
Super interesting. It remembers me the stories I listened from older people in Ethiopia who survived during the dark because they had the habit to keep gold before the revolution. So a lot of people, and I think happens in other countries in Africa, the elder people used it to keep gold. So when the bad times came, they could survive selling this gold because the price increased. So it's exactly the same with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is transportable because it's literally in a piece of paper with your wallet or in a USB. So, but the principle that is called telling us is exactly the same. Bitcoin is going to increase along the time. You need to have a perspective in long term. So is you are saving money for the long term, and you will always be watching an increase of the value of your savings. Now, I think, well, it's another perspective also that is necessary to improve the network in Africa, but maybe in the future, or we are watching some examples also, for example, in Nigeria, in Tanzania, where the people is having access to payments in long distance using Bitcoin, uh, but they don't need a succursal, a bank succursal of the people don't have to go directly to the bank to make these deposits. So probably it will be an improvement along the time in the environment. Do you think it?
Yeah, I do think that there'll be improvements there. When it comes to telecom networks, most African countries have been making most more investment. The cost of telecom has gone down in Ethiopia a considerable amount. We now have competitors building out Safaricom. So not only does Ethio Telecom, the government-owned service provider, provide telecom services, but we've now allowed Safaricom to do the same. And I think there's going to be a third business license that'll be tendered soon. So as we have more competition, the prices of these services will keep going down, and they'll be expanded into more kind of pockets of the economy. And so as that happens, more Ethiopians will be digitally native, and they'll have the ability or the tools to send and receive Bitcoin. So obviously Nigeria has taken a very early lead in this. South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, these are all countries that have taken the lead, but I think the Ethiopians will quickly catch up.